it was a near perfect game for India. We lost a couple of early wickets, but then we had a solid partnership in the middle order, and then some finishing touches by Hardik Pandya as well. And then I think spinners completely strangled Kiwi batters, and they had no clue which way the ball is turning. Uh, so I think a great game to start with. Obviously, we'll dissect the game, but what are your initial thoughts on the game, Suresh?
No, I mean, like you said, right? The fact that we were three down and we come back to post a very good score, that itself gives you confidence, right? Before the knockouts, when you're in that situation, how do you bounce back? And I think that's a good sign for India, that we have the backup and the solidarity in the middle, which can take us through those difficult situations in the top. And then obviously, I mean, I'm so happy seeing four spinners bowl. It's so good when other teams struggle to play spin and when your spinners dominate. So it's a great sight to be. I'm very happy that India is doing this. I mean, that's the way it is, right? It's a pitch that helps spin, so we'll do it.
It's quite refreshing actually. And before
Yeah,
the start, we were discussing that. So let's start with the beginning.
yeah,
So Rohit Sharma, I think India is on the way to make some sort of record in terms of losing the toss. I think it was a continuous 10th loss with respect to the toss for Rohit Sharma, and I think the kind of reaction he gave is like, okay, ठीक है, toss to हारना ही है,
yeah,
that kind of thing. And New Zealand surprisingly put India to bat. They invited India to bat, and India stuttered early, right? The Kiwi bowlers were like right on target, especially Matt Henry and even Kyle Jamieson. They both were pretty good with the new ball. And with 30 odd for three, when Virat went out with that unbelievable catch from Glenn Phillips,
what
I think that was one heck of an effort. We'll come to
yeah,
that catch, and but what a great partnership between Shreyas Iyer. I know there's been a lot of talk about India's top three, and there is no
mm,
doubt about it. Our top three batters, I think 1, 3, and 5 is their current rankings in the ODI setup. But
yeah.
India is literally blessed to have Shreyas Iyer at number 4. And then you've got someone like an Axar Patel, like an additional or an added insurance layer for the Indian middle order.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like the number four position has always been a big problem, right? I mean, we discussed many times in the show as well. After the departure of Yuvraj Singh, India's never had a solid number four for a long time, which led to our probably losing the 2019 World Cup also. The
Yep.
number four
Yep.
would have given the stability there. But what a player! I mean, I actually got worried because Iyer has been scoring very fast, right? And I thought he will again take on the attack. And when you do that, you always have a chance of getting out, right? But I'm so surprised that he didn't do it. I'm happy he didn't do it. And Akshar at the other end, like you said, right, the solidarity that he gives you. And in 2000, the 2024 T20 World Cup final as well, when Akshar came in that crucial position. After that, once I saw that innings, I knew that this guy can play under any scenario. Like pressure is not a problem for him, and you need such sort of players to come in and give that solidarity. So very happy. I think Shreyas Iyer has blossomed into probably one of the best players of spin we have, and also that attacking mindset he has. I mean, though he was playing slow initially, but he tried his best to get his scoring rate back as well, and I was happy with that. Again, probably got out to the short ball, but I don't think he would be too worried. Not exactly short, but yeah, hit on the deck. But I don't think he'll be too worried with that.
Yeah, I think I'm really happy the way there has been a lot of question marks with respect to the way he has been getting out to short pitch bowling in the past, right?
Mm.
And in the last 1 year, I think he's a different player
Yeah,
after playing all those domestic tournaments, right? He has really worked on that short pitch stuff, and now I think he looks far more convincing when he's trying to tackle sort of counter short pitch bowling. He got out, but again. At that situation, he was looking for some quick
yeah,
runs, in the final stages of the game of the inning rather. But I think I mean this. I think he's worked really hard, and it is definitely showing in his batting. And a word on Akshar Patel, Sulesh. I mean, I know you spoke about that 2024 finals,
yeah.
uh, but what it does to the balance of the side, and say someone like a KL Rahul, how does it impact his position in the side?
Yeah, no, tough, right? I mean, he's like we know that, right? He's way better than a number six. Uh, he should. I mean, if KL Rahul is in his squad, it should be number five. And I'm assuming that this access scenario is only for this sort of emergency situations where team loses wickets early and you don't want you want a left-hander to come in and probably play
Oh,
the right.
I beg to differ over there because in the,
Hmm.
in the game against Pakistan as well as against Bangladesh, I think when India had a good start, at a good partnerships in the top of the order.
Yeah.
And also, Akshar only came to bat at number
You're saying
five.
Akshar would be like the number five now is what
Yeah,
India's.
yeah. I think that's sort of decided. He that I think that Gambhir values that left-right combination a lot, so maybe that
Yeah.
could be the for Akshar's promotion.
Yeah. In which case, then yeah, it's hard on Rahul for sure, right? I mean, he's a good batsman and he can obviously up the ante as well, but he takes his time. And at number six, I don't know how much time do you have. Like even today, I
Yeah.
think what 21 of 28 balls. I don't have something of that line, right? Which is not ideal for a number six. You want at least a run a ball, or probably obviously start off the run a ball and then go on to do more than that. So India. I mean, if you're playing Rahul at number six, then the question always comes, right? Do you want Pant? What's your view on that? What do you think? Yeah.
See, I think we touched upon this in the earlier part of the tournament as well when we were, I think, doing that analysis
Yeah.
or doing that preview of the Champions Trophy. I think if India wants to play KL Rahul or Akshar Patel at number five, then I think there's a lot of sense to get Pant instead of Rahul at number six. There are two reasons for that. One, obviously, can be the aggressor. He
Uh,
is someone who can play that finishing part and sort of uh, give those quick runs in the crunch situation. And plus his wicket keeping skills,
oh yeah.
I think where I think he is far superior than KL Rahul. I know KL has been doing well, but I think again today he again dropped a couple of tough ones. But I think that could be the deciding factor in a crunch situation, say in a semi-final against
Yeah.
Australia. But I really don't think that Gambhir is going to make any changes going ahead. I think India is going to stick with the same combination if they are going for four spinners, and if they want Harshit Rana back, probably someone like a Kuldeep might make a way for him. But I don't see at this point of time Pant making a cut in the side.
Yeah, agree. I mean, since you mentioned current situations, right? That Glenn Phillips catch. I mean, like it's the small percentages, right? It's a small reaction time, and how aware you are. How I mean, obviously, being aware is one, and being athletic enough to jump and dive and get that catch is another thing, right? But in all these crunch matches, all these like you call this percentage cricket, right? How maybe
Yeah,
1% better than the opposition, and that could become a big resulting factor, right? Like for example, you're getting Kohli out. It's not even some random guy, and the best
yeah.
batsman out with one extra effort in fielding. And like you said, that KL Rahul drop, maybe it didn't cost us today, but
Hmm.
it could cost you a crucial match. And I think guys giving that extra, even we keep discussing this, right? The 2023 World Cup, the Australian fielding was completely what do you call glued in, right? The Travis Head catch, Maxwell on the boundary, those sort of extra effort always makes a difference. And in crucial matches, that could come and haunt you. But yeah, I think that Glenn Phillips catch is something else.
Yeah, I think very valid point, Suresh. Because what it does, it sort of demoralizing you. And there are certain moments in the game which you cannot define by the numbers. For example, if someone is
Mm.
taking a fifer or someone is scoring 100, you can see that in the scorecard. But catches like these, for example, that crucial catch of Virat Kohli, could have completely changed the complex of the game. Had India lost another wicket, like another couple of quick wickets in the next 5-10 overs, the
Mm.
situation would have been a lot different. And that's where these kind of catches, and I think Glenn Phillips has made a habit of taking
Yeah,
blinders. I
yeah,
think as kids we have all seen Jaunty Rhodes fielding at backward point and doing some unreal stuff, superhuman stuff, and then we saw the likes of AB de Villiers and all as well. But I think Glenn Phillips is right up there, one of the best to ever, with respect to his fielding skills. I think is top notch. He
yeah.
took one blinder in that Pakistan game, and then again today, and then again one more catch taken by Kane Williamson,
Oh, yeah.
that Jadeja's catch. That was also pretty crucial. I think that cost India 20-30 extra runs, I would say, because Pandya was not able to rotate the strike and he had to harvest the strike. So that also made a lot of difference. So these small moments, right? And these could be match defining. Luckily for India today, the ballers joined the party and they played their part. But I think you just cannot define the potential impact of these kind of catches, these kind of efforts on this in the camp.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, completely. It's a small percentage cricket that makes a difference. Let's get into the India's bowling, right? Uh, Again, the four spinners. Were you ever like we discussed this? Right? There was not much due today, so that's probably the reason why we thought, okay, we can go ahead and try four spinners. But just going with Hardik Pandya as an opening bowler, did that give you any sense of is this the right combination, or were you always comfortable with that combination?
I think Hardik over the last, I would say, couple of years has, even in that 2023 World Cup also, I think he played a few matches only, handful matches only, but he was really impactful with respect to his bowling as well, right? Hardik with a new ball actually is a threat, I would say, because he can move the ball, he can wobble the ball, and especially if there is not that much of help for the seam bowlers, I think he's someone who can use the bounce, vary his pace, use those cutters and all, even in the middle overs if required. So Hardik is really valuable, and he gets that balance to the side. And I think it's because of Hardik only that India was able to play four spinners, right? Otherwise, with Shami, and you need someone to share the new ball with Shami, right? Hardik, I think I'm fairly convinced about Hardik being the new ball bowler for India. But I still feel that Shami is still around 60-70% of where he was in that 2023 World Cup. And that his rhythm not that great. I know he took a fifer in the opening game, and but I think the if you see the release as well, the seam of the ball is not perfect. Shami is known for its seam, like straight seam. It's like ball is still in the air, right? That is
Yeah.
not happening. So you know that his rhythm is not like 100%. So maybe I don't know. I have a feeling that they will stick with the same combination uh, against Australia as well. And like you mentioned, dew is not a factor, thankfully, in this tournament. Unlike that 2021 World Cup, which happened in November,
Yeah.
so dew played the win the toss, win the match kind of thing happened over there. But fortunately for India and for the greater good of the tournament, I think dew is not that critical a factor here. So we might see India sticking with four spinners in the Australia game as well, and in that case,
Yeah.
again, Hardik and Shami will sort of open the attack.
No, you're right. I mean, and one more thing I want to add here is Hardik the bowler, right? So Hardik obviously he didn't start off as an opening bowler. That's not his mentality, right? But I think what a lot of things have happened for Hardik Pandya post the 2023 World Cup. The responsibility he was given to him bowling the last over, a lot of confidence has been added to him as a bowler. And like he's like an opening bowler has those things, right? You're bowled in the channel, you have to keep bowling in the line. But Hardik is more than that. He knows that he's not an opening bowler, but he thinks beyond that. The
Yeah,
variations come into play. Like the dismissal of Rachin Ravindra today. I don't think a lot of opening bowlers will think of bowling that ball like that. I mean, it is purely Hardik as a T20 bowler. He knows that he has these variations. He'll try the slower bouncer, not really slower, 70 kilometers, I mean 70 miles per hour, but that it is a nothing ball basically. I mean, Rachin
yeah.
could have just hit it anywhere, but you won't see typical opening bowlers bowl that ball. And Hardik is using his brains. He's going beyond the typical line and length. And good to see, really good to see. I mean, that somebody going above his capabilities and knowing that I have these balls with me, I can use it whenever I want. I have control of those balls, and that will help me come in as an opening bowler with a very different perspective of opening bowling itself.
I think India is blessed to have someone like Hardik. Hardik is a
Yeah,
character. Like I mentioned, he can give you the finishing touches, right? It was I
yeah,
mean, Hardik made a crucial knock with the bat as well. Let's not forget that.
right,
The 250 target was mainly because Hardik
yeah,
gave those finishing touches, right, along with Jadeja in the middle. Uh, but I think he's a complete package, and he wants to be there. He wants
yeah,
to be part of the tide. He wants to be there in the crunch situations. He wants to take that additional responsibilities, and I think that entire captaincy in the IPL also sort of helped him.
yeah,
I know we have been really critical of him as Indian cricket fans at times, especially in the last IPL. But I think he's a character, and India is really blessed to have him in the side. And the just imagine if Hardik is not there. I think the one of the reasons why we sort of lost that combination in the final stages of that 50 over World Cup was because
yeah,
Hardik got injured, right? So he's a key factor over there. And
right.
again, I think in the knockouts as well, I see him playing a major role over there as
No, I completely agree. I mean, you want those clutch players to come and perform in the crunch situations, and he will. Like you said, you knowing him, you know he will. He wants to be in those crucial situations, and he will. Talking of another, I mean, crucial player, right? Varun Chakravarthy. I cannot understand like the transition of the same pitch, right? 3 years back, 4 years back, Rizwan and Babar took him to the cleaners. Even New Zealand took him to the cleaners, right? And the same bowler right now is you cannot read him, and a lot of factors, right? Like I also want to, I don't know, somebody probably will do the analysis later on. The revolutions he's getting on the ball, that's leading to a lot of drift. So the
well.
moment it pitches, it's spinning in such a way that you can't really play it. Even if you're so good of, okay, say I've read the ball, you read it on the hands, but the moment it lands, it starts turning, and that sort of revolution, the drift he's getting, is so difficult to play. And like 5 wickets is, I mean, he's making the habit of taking 5 wickets now. I think took it against England in the T20 also.
Yep.
So these teams are struggling to play him, and I'm so happy that Varun is like in the peak of his powers. Obviously, with Gambhir's backing in KKR, that has really helped him. I mean, he was not even part of the Champions Trophy squad initially. But I'm
Yeah.
happy that the Gambhir backing has led him to come and perform so well for India as well.
I think talking about Varun, I think the length over there is the key factor. You see
Hmm.
the batsman. I think let's be honest about it. That most of the batters, especially we saw that in the England series as well, in the South Africa tour as well, and now in this game, most of the guys that they don't have a clue what is coming out of his hand, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
sort of back themselves or they try to read him off the pitch, which again is a very, very difficult
It's
task, especially with the
difficult, it's
kind of
dangerous. Yeah,
yeah, and the length really becomes critical over there, right?
yeah.
On that good length area, the wicket ball to Young, I think that the one which came in, I think the
Ah,
length over there was really, really critical because looking to cut the ball or guide the ball, but it was not that short, and then it came in. So
yeah,
I think again that 2021 World Cup, I think again obviously he's a different bowler now. In 3 years,
yeah.
he's worked hard, and then he's got the backing of the management as well. No doubt about it. But another factor which is sort of playing in his favor is the due factor, right? In that
Yeah,
2021 series, I think teams who were bowling in the bowling second was like the spinners were really struggling. They were not
yeah.
getting anything out of the wicket because of the due. So that has helped him, and I think it has been a blessing for India, and I see both Australia and potential will have might have a potential final if we win against Aussies and against South Africa as well. I see a hard time. These guys are gonna have a hard time to face Varun because it's not that easy. It's like Ajanta Mendes thing from that 2008 2009 time. Uh,
Hmm.
Again, as a batter, you have to sort of be ahead in the game and try to sort of figure out. They will figure out eventually, but not in this tournament. And then as a bowler, you have to sort of be smart. And then, like you saw that seam up the seam up delivery, which he got rid of, which got rid of Santner. It was like 112 or 113
Yeah,
kicks.
yeah, yeah,
That's a new one, new addition
yeah.
to his armory, right?
He's
So
good,
again,
yeah.
he has developed new balls. I think he's got 6 or 7 different kind of variations, and the drift and the grip is sort of making it even tougher for the batters. Uh,
No, yeah,
I
I
see.
agree.
I definitely see Aussies, Australian middle order struggling against Varun in the next game.
Yeah. No, I mean, guys like Smith and all who are considered one of the best readers of spin will have a tough time, and I'm sure he'll come into the picture.
Williamson
But
also struggled today.
Williamson,
Williams,
yeah, yeah, he
he was
got a
not
wicket.
comfortable. He played 80 odd, but he was not never comfortable.
Very comfortable. And I mean, ultimately he got his wicket as well, right? But I think Ajanta Mendes, yeah, I agree. I agree. The comparison is right. Um, it's Ajanta Mendes is more of variations. That's what I felt. But Kuldeep, I mean, the Varun has gone slightly beyond variations now. That drift is adding a very different angle to his bowling. And how much ever you think you've read the ball from his hand as well, how much ever you think you've read the ball, the grip as well, I mean, and the bounce as well, the moment it bounces post that drift that he gets extra, I think that's going to become really difficult for batsmen to figure out. And it's clearly working on the delivery more and more. More and revolutions are coming in from the ball as well. It's going to be a nightmare for him. I mean, IPL and all will be a difficult challenge to play in KKR now.
Yeah, I think I'd like to highlight that ball to Glenn Phillips as well. He got smashed for a six. The ball
Yeah,
was a little shorter. The ball before that, the wicket ball was a little shorter and went on the back foot and sort of tonged him over deep square leg or deep mid wicket. But
yeah,
then again, he immediately sort of realized and ball a little fuller. That good length, perfect length, 6 to 8 meter, 6 meter length. And again, Glenn Phillips had no clue what to do with that.
yeah,
I mean, definitely, these guys are not reading him out of the hand. And England, for the entire T20 series, for the ODI series, they struggle.
yeah,
South Africa struggle in their own conditions. Now, New Zealand struggle today. I think it's gonna take some time for these guys to. And I think Gambhir has been really smart in using
yeah.
Varun. They did not play him against Bangladesh and Pakistan, right?
That's a
And
good
they
move. Yeah,
want to use him like in a certain manner, which is a good thing.
yeah. And okay, now assume you have taken down Varun. Somehow you have played out Varun. You have Axar Patel, you have Kuldeep, and you have Jadeja coming at you, right? I mean, even Axar, like it's so difficult to read him now. I mean, the length at which he's just delivering that ball is so unique. It's first of all he has the height, that advantage, and the bounce always comes to the picture. But the way he's variation that the spot of delivery along with the flight he's getting, those are adding so much variations to his ball, and obviously the pace at which he's bowling. He's bowling it more and more slower, and all those
Yep.
things are very difficult if you're facing a left arm spinner. Same as Santner, right? I mean, Santner also bowled really
Sana
well.
was brilliant today. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he was brilliant today.
so
But the
it's
only
difficult
only thing,
for
sorry,
spinners.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying once you cross Varun, you have these guys left after that.
No, fair point, Suresh. I think, but the only thing which probably New Zealand did not do today was to counter attack. I know they were not reading Varun. They were not probably reading Axar as well. And the length was really right, and there was a lot of help for a spinner. But this is where someone, the Australian top order would be different, right? You have the likes of Matthew Short, you have Travis Head, you have, Steve Smith, who would counter attack. They would not give up like this, right? They will not be in their shell. They will not die wondering
You don't
if
have,
I.
I mean, to be really frank, you don't have that sort of quality as well. I think Mitchell was a crucial aspect. Mitchell is the one who can probably counterattack, and Glenn Phillips to an extent. But Glenn Phillips, I mean,
He
however,
can't reach.
he can't read spin, exactly. So beyond a point, he can't. Mitchell was a player who could have done that along with Williamson. But once Mitchell got out, then Williamson went into the shell, and then it just never, the counterattack never happened.
Yeah, I think it will happen. They will be put under pressure against when we face Australia in the semis, right? Because
Yeah.
Travis said not gonna dive under. He'll counter attack for sure. He did the same in 2024 World Cup game as well. Uh,
Do you think
so I
is
think I
that
think
spinners
that's where
come in
the
early?
pattern will be decided.
You think spinners will come in early as well then in the power play?
Yeah. So today again, I think Akshar Patel was introduced in the seventh over. Assuming, for example, if Australia get a good start and if Travis Head does a Travis Head in the first
Yeah,
five or
yeah,
six overs, I see a possibility of maybe Varun Chakravarthy getting introduced early, because I'm not too sure if Rohit will expose either Jadeja, Akshar, or even Kuldeep against a left-hander like Travis Head in the power play. So that's where Chakravarty's role might be even more critical.
correct. Yeah, and generally, I mean, this is like typical horses for courses thing, right? I think Gambhir is playing very smart here. You know, you have an advantage, right? You're playing all your matches in one ground. You have an advantage that there is no due now. We have taken four spinners, the five spinners in the squad, and you're properly playing all those spinners and getting the best out of it. So I think India's really being really smart, taking best use of the conditions and the team you have, squad you have. It'll be tough for the
So
other
again,
teams.
I mean, due is something which nobody can control, right? It's kind of a
Yeah,
blessing for India. But the other part, I think this entire thing around India not traveling and all, it's not decided today, right? It was
yeah,
decided when
yeah,
the season was announced, right? And let's not kid ourselves. Everybody knew that India is not going to travel to Pakistan, right?
yeah.
That was already decided like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago only. That वो नहीं होना है. Then either these guys were hoping that India won't reach the knockout stages, or
हाँ,
probably they were expecting कि हम ही लोग नहीं पहुंचेंगे. Maybe Australia expected कि we might not qualify. Doing all this natak now, I think doesn't make
yeah,
any sense. They're just trying to create and especially the teams like Pakistan and England who have already sitting at their home watching television. I think their experts doing all this nonsense is completely bullshit to me. Australians being Australians, they are trying to create some outside noise to
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of put
That's
pressure.
noise, right?
Which,
Yeah,
and I think the management and the team, everybody knows the mind games which these guys play. अभी ऐसा चल रहा है, once the Ashes start, then they have their own bickering and all those things will happen.
yeah,
So I think let's not sort of give that all these things too much attention, because had teams should have. I see it. I'm not debating that it's not an advantage to India. It is an advantage.
yeah,
But this
yeah.
was not decided today. This was decided like a couple of months in advance, and then probably the other teams or the management could have raised a flag. See, guys, this is not fair. Probably India could have scheduled a couple of games in Sharjah and Abu Dhabi just to change the hotels, like Wasim Jafar also tweeted. That could
Right.
have been a solution for their bickering, but I'm sure they would have found something or the other. So let's
Yeah. No, I mean
just
it's difficult, dude. I mean, like once a team has decided that they won't travel, and India has all the resources, right? We figured out that okay, Dubai is the best place. I mean, it's difficult. See, Pakistan is the host country. Outside the host, you can't have again too many variations outside the host as well, right? The fact that you're first of all you're having a scenario where the co-host is happening itself is a big thing, and you get the tournament underway somehow. On top of that, you can't expect more variations. I think Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, and all would have been difficult as logistics. This thing itself, just for
well, the
one team.
future के लिए maybe ICC could be a little more wary of these kind of situations.
Yeah,
If you know that there is a possibility that India is not going to travel to Pakistan, why give a complete rights to Pakistan? For example, 2026 World Cup is in India, but Sri Lanka is going to be the co-host. India and Sri Lanka are co-hosting that World Cup. Then
correct.
Pakistan can play all their games in Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
So such kind of arrangement could have been
you're
made.
prepared then. Yeah,
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 maybe Dubai, and they could have introduced UAE and Pakistan. Something like that could have been done. But again, I don't know what the management was thinking. We all knew that India is not going to travel.
yeah. No, just for Ramesh Raja to keep his crowd happy.
Ravi Raza is a waste of a time. I think
He was the chairman that time, right? Useless. Yeah. So what
Ravi
what
Raza takes it seriously.
what are your predictions for the semifinals? I think India Australia obviously it's going to be a tough match. And South Africa and
Not
New
gonna be
Zealand.
easy for India, but I think India should, get the better of Aussies this time around. So they defeated us in the WTC finals, and in 2023 World Cup we got one back in the 2024 T20 World Cup, and I think we'll sort of do these even evens this time around, especially considering the form India is in, and the spin attack, the
Yeah.
X factor of Varun Chakravarthy. I think that's gonna play a part for sure. And I see India. It's gonna be a tough game. It's not gonna be one-sided for sure, because Australia is not gonna die just like that. But
Mm.
I feel that India might just go the distance this time around.
Yeah. No, I want it to be one-sided. I want us to smash
We
Australia.
all want it to be one-sided.
Yeah,
Let's but I don't think it's gonna be one-sided.
no, I mean, this has been too much, right? I mean, this whole Travis head and hanging on your head. I mean, that factor. I just want us to, and to be really frank, I want head to bat. I want him to score like a 50 runs of some 80, 90 balls. Let him
That's
struggle.
not gonna happen. He's not gonna. That's not gonna happen. I can bet on that. Either
Then
he's
I
gonna
want,
get out in single digit, or he's gonna. If he's playing
yeah,
80 balls, he's definitely gonna make 85, 90, at least 85,
100.
90 on any
Yeah.
wicket.
Yeah. No, so I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I want us to dominate. I want us to dominate in terms of spin and let those 40. I mean, if they end up batting 50 overs, 40 overs of spin, let them be terrorized, tortured. I mean, see, whenever we go to their conditions, it's always bouncy tracks. It's always seaming pitches. Now it's our turn, right? I mean, okay, we're not hosting it,
Let them
but we
trim.
are
No,
in Dubai.
what's the point?
Yeah, we should dominate. I mean, and play four spinners. Let them struggle against spin.
Yeah.
You don't have a
Well,
spinner. You don't know how to play spin
Australia is a
against spin.
world-class team. They defeated
Yeah,
India in Ahmedabad, right?
correct,
So if
correct.
they are crying over pitch or over the combination, I
Yeah,
think it's not fair. I think they have
it's
all
not.
the resources,
Yeah,
and I think the best situation for India would be to bat first, and basically Rohit taking
yeah,
on the inexperienced Australian pace attack to the cleaners, and
yeah.
putting up a big total on board, and then probably our spinners coming to the party and bulldozing Australia cheaply.
Correct. I agree. And what about the other semi-final? What's your prediction there?
I want South Africa to win that one and I feel but again, the unpredictability with South
So New
Africa is
Zealand
like,
travels to Pakistan now, right?
yeah, they have to
You think
travel
that
back
will
to
be a
Pakistan.
factor? You think that will be a factor?
I think that might work out well for them, because see, I think if we talk about the spinners, I think New Zealand are more equipped as opposed to South Africa to play in these Dubai conditions, right? So
Huh.
if if New Zealand and South Africa match is happening, I think it's better for South Africa. If it happens on those kind of wickets, flat deck, where the
Yeah, yeah.
likes of these guys can come to the party, Klassen,
Correct.
Markram, and all those guys can really take the game away from the Kiwis. So I think the fact that it's gonna be in Pakistan's, I think it's in Lahore, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is
Yeah.
it Lahore or Karachi?
I think it's in Lahore. Yeah.
Lahore. It's gonna be a belter of a wicket. So we we will definitely see a high scoring game, and I think South Africa might edge New Zealand out of the contest. So my
Yeah.
prediction would be India versus South Africa next Sunday.
No, they they,
Hopefully.
uh, they recently played in Tri-Cities, right? I think there was a close match as well. I think it was a Glenn Phillips innings that no, I can't recollect what.
Yeah. But again, South Africa, I think some of the key players were missing in
Yeah, the missing. Correct. The bowling lineup
that
was
factor.
not
There
strong.
was no Rabada. There was again,
Yeah.
I'm not sure Marco Jansen was playing or not.
No, I
Uh,
don't think so.
yeah, so I think this South African attack is very
Yeah.
different from the one which played in the Tri Series, and that's where I think, and the kind of momentum these guys are in, I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a close game. It's not gonna be one-sided,
Oh yeah,
because Kiwis are the fighters, real fighters.
yeah.
And I don't want to see India New Zealand in the finals, to be honest, because New Zealand already played a game in Dubai. Let's surprise South Africa now with those four spinners once we get
Yeah.
past Aussies.
Yeah, I mean, if we get past and South Africa get past, I think it'll be very difficult for South Africa. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
also worry about the New Zealanders because they played so much here, and then they played Karan also once, so maybe
yeah.
they are prepared for him this time. So yeah,
And I
let's
think I don't want to face New Zealand in the knockout game.
yeah. I mean, India South Africa, I would definitely give India the upper hand, but let's see. I mean, you never know, right? It'll be close matches India Australia also. Can't rule never rule the Aussies out in the knockout.
No. I think it's going to
Yeah,
be tight, and the conclusion is basically the four best sides of the tournament
yeah,
uh, reach the finals. Probably Afghanistan got a little hard done by the weather, but I
yeah.
think Aussies definitely deserve to be here. Before we close out, I think I wanted to touch upon one more thing. The ground conditions and the kind of money Pakistan Cricket Board has spent on the stadiums, on the renovation and everything. What
Uh,
happened with the drainage? They were literally using those wipers which we use in the bathroom after our shower.
And that too, like, I mean, Harsha Bhogle, I remember, said these all sort of things used to happen when we used to play domestic cricket or small league level cricket 30, 40 years back in India. And that is being used for international tournament in for which they're hosting after a long time.
I mean,
I
it
don't
was
know. They spend all their money on those chairs
it
and
was
whatever.
I mean, it was disgraceful. I mean, the corruption is unbelievable. They could have, I mean, if you are having such an important tournament, just
Yeah,
imagine. And I mean, see, I know Australia was dominating in that game, but there was a possibility of
yeah,
Afghanistan coming back into the game, right? So again, it was sort of unfair. Weather is unpredictable, but you got to have those arrangements, those equipments to sort of deal with it. And it was a shame, such a shame that you guys are hosting such a big tournament after like 29, 30 years and literally made a mess of it.
mess of it. And first of all, your team gets out in the first round itself. This hardly and on top of that, all the other matches also this hardly crowd. I don't know. I mean, it's like, did you really want to host it or not? Hardly the crowd turned up as well. Very surprising. And the fact that I mean, see, if your team goes out early, I understand, right? The interest goes away. But it's such a big tournament, and it's happening in your country after almost 30 years, a big ICC tournament. I expected a lot more people to turn up, at least kids to come to school from school. You try to propel enthusiasm amongst the population to want to go watch that match. And again, no India also. I think that's a big factor for them as well, right? I mean, they have a lot of support for
I
the
don't know.
Indian
They were
team.
also daydreaming probably that India will come and play in Pakistan. That's not going to happen. We all knew that. Uh,
Yeah, it's strange.
I mean,
Yeah.
and then they have their ex players like Inzamam and Sakleen Mustak. They have the audacity to say that let India play 10 ODIs, 10 tests, and 10 T20s against Pakistan in a bilateral format, and then decide who is the boss.
Oh, they said all that. Is it?
Yeah, yeah. Sakleen Mustak said that, and it's really surprising. Such a big name is making all those kind of
This Pakistan
all
squad is
they've
no way,
become
man.
jokers, man.
Yeah,
They've
not
become
even this
jokers,
Pakistan squad.
clowns.
I can't believe, and it's there's clearly a gulf in talent. It's
There
no
is.
more about, yeah. And
There
you
is.
can't. 10 matches will be what, 7-0, 8-7-3, 8-2. Maybe one match you may win, two matches you may win.
Once in a blue moon, and that the only a couple of exceptions were that the 2017 Champions Trophy final and then 2021.
One.
Other than that, I don't think Pakistan have beaten us in too many games, right?
Yeah, and we
One
have
not
thrashed pretty much
Indonesia.
convincingly in all matches.
Yeah, yeah, we literally thrashed him.
Yeah,
Literally thrashed him. Even in this Champions Trophy,
yeah,
I mean, it was like really, literally one-sided,
yeah,
completely one-sided.
correct. So yeah, it's a sad. I mean, I don't know. Pakistan really have to look at their cricketing. I mean, landscape, right, in terms of
At least
administration, in
don't
terms
give
of
all this nonsense statement. At least not you don't expect from the likes of Sakleen Mustak and Inzamam to give those kind of statements.
and the players also, right? Like that Abrar Ahmad putting that photograph with tea and all. Like, get over these things, man. I
I
mean,
think
look,
the downfall is unbelievable.
huh?
And it's not the downfall is unbelievable. It's not
It's
only in the cricketing skills, it's in the on and off field behavior as well.
yeah. What mindset are you, like? Is this petty or what are you playing? Are you a cricketer? What are you? I mean, focus on your game. Focus on your skills. Focus on being better as a player. In all the useless crap you're focusing on is just sad.
I think that reminds me of one more point. This somebody asked why do you like Rizwan? I don't know who they were talking to, Fakar Zaman or one of
Oh
these
yeah,
guys. Right?
that is
He said
Imam.
because he arranged Nawaz and
Yeah, Imam was like,
bed sheets and all. Really, I think I don't want to make any religious comments here.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
all have got our religious sentiments and religious
Correct,
preferences, which is completely fine.
correct.
But being a cricketer, if you are being asked that what is the best quality of a captain, I think this
Yeah,
is surely not the thing which you'll want to talk about, right? You'll want to
yeah.
talk about his cricketing skill or his leadership skill, not that he's arranging bed sheets for Nawaz.
No, I
I
mean,
don't think you guys are
yeah.
saying that.
Like, okay, I understand religion is an important part of your team and team culture. That's one part, right? And probably him as a leader wants to guide there as well. But him not, like Imam not even mentioning about how he's as a captain in the field or how he takes the leadership is very strange. It's very strange that your cricket is not mentioned.
अलग ही चल रहा है भाई वहाँ Cartoon Network. Anyway, we
Yeah,
end up talking about Pakistan cricket inevitably.
and they're the host. So what to do?
Cool, man. I think it was really nice catching up. I'm looking forward to that India Australia game
Yeah,
Tuesday. Hopefully, we're gonna get better off Aussies this time around, and we'll get Travis Head early. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye bye.
I want one sided match. See you.